Hi and welcome to all the racing lovers and enthusiasts around the globe who are joining us. And once again, time's absolutely flying along as we're going into January and the days are just ticking along. So Alistair Cohen is on the line. We're going to have a chat to him. Alistair, firstly, how are you and the family doing? And secondly, January, we touched base and it's already starting to fly by.
No, it's scary, Sheldon. All good, thanks. I hope you and all the viewers and your family are all doing very well at the start of this 2025. By the time everyone watches this preview show, we'll know a lot of what happened at the Lommara Kings Plate. I mean, obviously, I record this early on Saturday morning, and I'm doing this live from Hollywoodbets Kenilworth, and already things are building up. Not that match is going into the Sunday show, but, you know, that first Weight for Age Grade 1 race meeting of the season is something special, something to behold, the class, and it just sets the tone for the rest of the year and also leading into the rest of January. So very, very exciting time. You're right, already 5 days through the year, and as you say, it's absolutely flying by, and lots going on at the moment. As for the card on Sunday, it's scheduled to be at Turffontein. There has been a lot of rain on the high faults at the time of recording. Just spoke to Candice. The rain and the weather has been holding off this morning, but it's forecast to start falling from tonight. I think if there is a lot of rain, the VAR is on standby, so I'm told. So we should be fine for the Sunday card. Whether it happens at Turffontein or not, I don't know, but we should get it through. But the forecast for next week ain't that pretty. But anyway, there are opportunities, there are 9 opportunities, and we also got some group racing to come at Turffontein as we start to look forward to that Triple Crown.
There we go, the Triple Crown, really looking forward to that. We'll have a double header on Sunday with Hollywoodbets Scottsville racing, and also looking at the weather forecast from Sunday afternoon, evening into Monday and Tuesday. There's also quite a bit of rain on the way, the weatherman says, so let's keep a close eye. Alistair, without any further ado, let's get straight into the first race where they are betting 5-2 the field. Number 9, Future Nair at 5-2. Number 1, Quagga Blitz at 7-2, and then after that you can get 11-2 and better. Let's start with number 1, Quagga Blitz at 7-2. He's one of those horses who always just seems to give his best. He moves up to a point, he looks a winner, and just seems to find something to beat him.
Yeah, and his best doesn't always seem good enough. I actually quite fancy him here, Sheldon. Kelvin Habib takes a ride for Clinton. Well, Kelvin Habib sadly is not riding, so Clint Binder trains at the time of recording. There is no jockey declared. Just take note, obviously, Kelvin Habib and Pierre Stradom are not riding on this card, so just watch the press. The high number draw down the straight, if they do race at the Turffontein Standside track, is going to be beneficial. On that run to Vibe SA, finished in front of number 4, Paul Revere, who ran his career best. Vibe SA wasn't winning out of turn after a string of runner-up berths, so you do have to take that form with a pinch of salt. But when you look down, obviously the horse that's got a lot of scope to improve is number 9, Future Nair. You'll remember the mare quite well. Lala was trained by Doug Campbell, was a stakes winner, ran 4th to Lonely as a Cloud, who's trained by Candice, came up the maidens rated a 79. So if you do the sums, Future Nair ran to a rating of around a 73 there, and obviously with scope to improve, so it could be a lot better than that, but still has Quagga Blitz and Legendary, the stable companions, both of a 79, probably to get the better of. The first timer, number 7, Brigham, has been quoted to run a couple of times, has been scratched back again. Won't take much for him to do some damage on debut, number 7, Brigham, so just watch the market. But I think number 1, Quagga Blitz, might get his day in the sun in the opener. One of the trickier races on the card, it must be honest. It does sort of flatten out as the day goes on.
Yes, refreshing the memory. Lala, trained by Doug Campbell and Albert Rapp, those brown silks, the beige and brown silks, exceptionally type of horse. And Lala, I believe, is to sleep, to go doo-doo and sleep. So let's see if they can put them to sleep in race number 1. As we move on to race number 2, the carded off time is 12:50. And just having a look at the early timer recording, we are recording on Saturday, early doors. Number 11, Sterling Silver is out. So Sterling Silver's out. So the Mike Miller team won't have Sterling Miller running in race number 2. However, on a more serious note, the Sean Terry outfit, Brett Crawford outfit, Mike de Kock outfit, the Tony Peters stable, they seem to rule the roost in race number 2, Alistair.
Yeah, this is a good maiden, Sheldon. The first leg of the bipod on this Turffontein card that gets underway at 10-1 over 1160. Horses that look like they're ready to win. Note number 1, Great Notion, is now the rider Muzieni. Number 7, Gimme a Call. How well bred is that? But Gimme the green light out of Metwin, a smart call, now ridden by Chase Morjan. So very, very good genetics. And Aurora Green's also exceptionally well bred, these first timers. I'm scratching my head a little bit at this race, Sheldon, because I looked at number 9, Golden Alexia, and I thought, right, this could be the one that they all need to beat. Very nice debut behind Take Your Place, staying on strongly, given a nice quiet introduction and stayed on strongly, hit the line well. That's the type of horse that you like to run with and think, right, that's going to be hard to beat next time. But then you see, at the moment, one of the stable legs, I mean, Sean's not committed to one jockey, in isolation, but Craig Zaki is picking up a lot of the choice rides for Sean. And he's on number 12, Trail Runner, who was bumped on debut behind Illa Daraj, but has Pretty Precious and Gimme a Storm to beat. So I'm battling to sort of wrap my head around that and whether Trail Runner is expected to improve that much. It is a race that lends itself to including quite a few horses in your play. Number 1, Great Notion, sticks out as a likely winner. Number 2, Pretty Precious. If I'm going to motivate that, Trail Runner is a winning chance, and Pretty Precious must be as well. 4th Run in Joburg seems to be acquitting herself with each and every start. Very well bred. The mare was top class, was overarching, ran in the Beck Silks. Blazing Sky can't be left out. And number 8, Gimme a Storm, also behind Illa Daraj. Therefore, Pretty Precious has the edge, but Gimme a Storm might have a little bit of improvement to come. Also running at her, or carded to run at her home course for the first time as well. So the way that I read it, you need a few horses to include in the first leg of the bipod. It's a very complex race. If any support comes for these 2 Maritz Fontein first timers, do respect that. Number 7, Gimme a Call, perhaps the most interesting, despite probably looking for a trip. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to revolve this race around the 2 Tarry runners, 9 and 12, and then numbers 1 and 2 and 8 as other likely winners. So you do need to go wide. You probably don't need all 5 of those horses in the bipod, but you do need at least 3. And if you put me in a corner, the 3 horses that I'd go with would be numbers 1, 8 and 12.
That'll move us along to race number 3, and race number 3, 1325. And just having a look at the betting, there's only 2 runners in single figures, so the fixed odds department says a match race. It's 10-1 bar the top 2. Number 5, Roaming Spirit, is 9-10. Gavin Arena for Mike de Kock, and then Craig Zaki and Sean Terry, 15-10. Number 10, Gebera. Now, between numbers 5 and 10, the bookmakers have it a match race. Do you see it the same way? Because Roaming Spirit was scratched the other day. I think it was maybe transport complications.
Correct. She was quoted to run on New Year's Day at Hollywoodbets Greyville, and she didn't make the trip down. I mean, it's hard enough around festive time to travel for anyone because so many people are doing it. So to transport a horse would be a lot easier said than done. And also bear in mind that Gerbera was scratched on Thursday at the Vaal as well, with Stark's permission, potentially with an eye on this race going a mile for the first time. Sheldon, I agree with the bookmakers. I think it's an absolute match race. I think that you can bank one or the other in the bar pots and the place accumulator. This is where things start to flatten out. I would lean towards number 10, Gerbera, out of draw 1, going this trip for the first time, running like she'll get this trip without any fuss whatsoever. The mother was easily stayed 2,000 meters. It's the proper Drakenstein pedigree. This, I know that she's got 3 parts of a length to turn around with Roaming Spirit, who also goes this distance for the first time. She's related to the very well-performed Perfect Witness, who was just short of an Equine Millionaire and stakes placed on numerous occasions. So there's every chance that she'll appreciate the step up in distance. The big swing to number 10 for me is that I think number 5, Roaming Spirit, has had every chance to put these races to bed and has just wandered up in front and not quite put the race away, and that might be a trait that just undoes her again. So like I said, banker one or the other, bar pot and place accumulator, doesn't really bother me, but in a corner I'd box with number 10 Gerbera over number 5 Roaming Spirit. If Roaming Spirit, I'm not going to tell Mark de Kock how to train. He's trained 130 grade 1 winners. He knows what he's doing. I don't have a clue. I'd be the world's worst trainer. But third run after is, if I saw headgear fitted to Roaming Spirit, then I'd definitely put my thinking cap on and I might change my tune. But number 10 Gerbera for me on this occasion.
That'll take us on to event number 4 and race number 4 over 1,600 meters. And just having a look, it's a maiden plate, and just having a look at the current stats of draws from the last, let's call it, Let's have a double look here. 661 races. Draw number 3 seems to be quite significant. So Ever's drawn 3, big advantage. However, Mountain High at 7 to 10. That looks the obvious selection, priced up odds on. However, they are taking this individual on with Spirit Salvaggio. How do you see this race panning out? 7 to 10 with the Mountain High. And then we got number 2, Spirit Salvaggio. And that's got a 9 draw, second to Primal Quest last time out. And they are taking on the favourite, 9 to 2 down, 33 to 10.
Sheldon, people must have the needle to their cash with number 10, Mountain High. Beaten at 1 to 4, 8 to 10, 8 to 10, and 7 to 20. And we forced to take 7 to 10 again. I'm of the opinion that this is probably weaker. Probably stronger than her last start when Kalika came out and won, and Kalika ran last at the Val on Thursday. So, the form lines aren't all that strong. If she won, I wouldn't be blown away, obviously, at 7 to 10. I'm not going to sit here and say she can't win, because she's the most likely horse to win. She's probably found the right type of field to be effective. But Sheldon, I can't take 7 to 10, although she's an inclusion. Those that are taking odds on about this daughter of a thief, you can leave me behind. There are 2 horses here who I think are dangerous enough. Number 2, Spirito Salvaggio, has been sparingly raced now with Billy Rater's Ryan Munger's in the country till the end of March. I was chatting to his wife Kelsey during the week, so nice to have Ryan here for a while. Tongue Tuck goes on, steps up in distance, tipped the line strongly last time out, should come on with that run under the belt behind Primal Quest. I think he's relatively dangerous, number 2, Spirito Salvaggio. I actually liked him last time out. And then I think number 9, the Ultimate King, has a lot of scope to improve. He's a lovely big son of Vercingetorix. I hope he's not ultimately a lovely big slow son of Vercingetorix, but there are not too many of those around. I like that form line behind One More Star. I think he's above average. I think there were horses in and around One More Star that are above average and that'll win their races. I think he'll improve and run a nice race, number 9, the Ultimate King. I think he'll be in the top 3. So that's how I read the 4th race. I think there's a little bit of a booby trap there.
On to race number 5. Now, when it comes to the exotics, number 1, Zeus, is 15 to 10, along with number 4, Red Maple, and that is the mare. Highly successful recently. And then you got the ever consistent, well, I say consistent, Zeus. He's a horse who he just continues to churn out the good performances. We know he stays exceptionally well. And once again, the bookmakers have these 2 jointed 15 to 10. And then we go to number 3, Second Base, and that's at 5 to 1. And you can pretty much get 10 to 1 Crimson King and better the rest. Are you leaning towards Zeus, Red Maple, or have you got something else lurking in the wings, Alistair?
Sheldon, absolute 2-horse race. I agree with the market. To answer your question, I'm leaning towards number 1, Zeus, over number 4, Red Maple, but I've definitely got it open-ended for the mare to win. Zeus, a 10-time winner. All 10 wins have come under Gavin Arena. I thought his run the Betway Summer Cup from the widest draw was full of merit, running less than 4 lengths behind Atticus Finch when forced to make up a lot of ground. He did make up a lot of ground. He was the fastest 400 finisher. He's at home over this distance as well. He loves the Turffontein 2-4, and he's going to race as a very hard horse to beat, despite the fact that he gives a lot of weight away. He's an established long-distance horse, and he deserves the weight that he carries. 4, Red Maple, very, very hit and miss. Her win at the Val just before Christmas was out of the top draw. She looked like she was never going to get up. It's obviously a big step up in class for number 4, Red Maple, taking on the likes of Zeus and Second Base. All she needs is a pace. But as you can see, Fabian Haber's put 2 pacemakers in this race, so she'll get a pace to aim at. That's going to make her dangerous enough. I can't see anything else troubling them. 1 and 4 for me. First leg of Jackpot 1, which is my suggested bet with a race of this nature and 3 features to come. I think the jackpot's going to attract a lot of interest.
Excellent. As we move along to the next race, which is race number 6, as me and my device just have a little bit of a go. The new year started and just getting the device on the same page as me. And this is the Wolf Power 1600 listed. And just having a look at race number 6, we've got number 2, Pomodora's Jet. And looking at number 2, Pomodora's Jet with Craig Zaki aboard. How impressive was that last time out in that big field?
Yeah, and that Grand Heritage, that was out. The top draw was number 2, Pomodoro's Jet. So this is why he can win. This is why he can't win. He's obviously in jackpot 1. He's a big chance. Craig Zaki takes a run for Brett and James Crawford. Why he can win, he's found a new lease on life in Joburg. He's running well. He's running well with some good opposition. Obviously, his last win was seriously good when beating Master Christmas by 5.5 lengths. What worries me is that he seems to have been prepped for the Grand Heritage, running all those races down the straight. He obviously loved it. Now he goes around the turn and he runs on the back of a 9-pound penalty. That's a lot of weight that he's got to lump around. And he goes an extra 150 metres. Not that I think that's too much of a worry. So, big chance, number 2, Pomodoro's Jet, but no good thing. Number 1, Texas Red, despite receiving 6 kilos from main defender last time, I thought showed a lot of cheek. He's just not main defender's class. Very good run for number 1, Texas Red last time. He's definitely capable of winning a race of this nature. Again, I think he's a much better 1,400-metre horse than he is a 1,600-metre horse, but he might be able to last and show his worth here, number 1, Texas Red. So, big chance. Down the page, 8 and 9 are in as well. Let's talk about number 8, Storm Brasco. We are waiting a jockey at the time of recording. It was a very, very impressive win last time, coming back from a 10-month layoff when looking like he was going to need the run and looking nowhere with 300 metres left to go, but ran down Truth in very impressive style. He is a feature race quality horse, number 8, Storm Brasco. Always thought so. Sean Terry also believes so. So it wasn't a surprise that he won last time. It was just a surprise on how he won. But number 9, Truth, is doing very, very well as well. He's banging the play. Muzieni takes the ride. Got to be a huge chance, number 9, Truth. Simply on that last run, he meets Storm Brasco on much better terms. He's got a kilo to play with for a quarter of a length. That should swing. The race wasn't run to suit last time when Truth was just trapped at the outside of Storm Brasco's stable companion. Couldn't quite get a slot on the rail in the small field and probably also commits a little bit too early. He's a big chance, number 9, Truth. He's a top horse. He's going to win his races and he's going to be banging there. In fact, in my heart of hearts, I think he's the horse to beat, number 9, Truth. So 1, 2, 8 and 9 in the Wolf Power 1600.
Well, Alistair, touching on number 9, Truth, obviously with Candice Dawson and yourself, from day one, this horse has obviously shown you the world. And when you prep them to come out first time out and you see them win by that margin, and then they come back and they win by an absolute street next time out, then the only route to go is look to go for the features. And to see him come back to his, or close to his best last time out, must have given you goosebumps.
It wasn't quite goosebumps. I mean, I was happy. The owners were happy. Kant wasn't, but I suppose those are the high standards she sets. Just a little bit of background. He despised Hollywoodbets Greyville. The type track just didn't help, plus the draws didn't help either. His first run back in Joburg over 1,200 metres was always just going to be a prep run, which he ran fairly enough. Last time out, it was go time for number 9, Truth, to be fair, but he's a very, very good horse, and let's hope that he can be very, very competitive here.
Well, there we go. The truth of the matter is they'll be looking for an excellent run and hopefully can go one better in this contest. As we move along to the next race and having a look at the betting, let's just have a quick squiz here. They have number 1, which is Vulcanite. So number 1, Vulcanite, is 22 to 10. Miss Leah, number 3, is 7 to 2. And then it's 4 to 1 and better the rest. Just having a look at the scratching. Number 9, Glamorous Lady, does take no part in this event. I'm going to hand the baton straight over you for race number 7, Alistair. It looks to be one of those races where you could get any type of result, and 2 to 1 to 5 to 1, that separates the top 4 in the betting.
I'm a little underwhelmed by the Grade 3 race. The Betway Mother Russia Stakes over 1,400 metres. Traditionally, it's a very, very hot field. There's been some great horses that have won this race, and there might be something bubbling under that proves itself to be of Grade 1 calibre. But at the moment, I mean, these look like good handicappers. Nothing that really sets a very high standard. And I suppose it's hard to stand out in the same area as Quid Pro Quo. So we're going to have to play this quite wide. The horse that I most fancy is number 4, Salinio Peninsula. I think Gavin Arena and Jan Janssen van Vuren might have stumbled on the right race here. Penultimate's Fatal Flaw, full of merit, ran 5th. Fatal Flaw, now a Grade 1 winner in the Cape. She is top division. obviously with Quid Pro Quo setting the standard, but Fatal Flaw's shown that she's not all that far behind, and I think that probably sets her up nicely. If you go and have a look at the run to Fatal Flaw, finished in front of Coco Melon, but perhaps crucially on the 12th of December at the Vaal over 14.50, Salinia Peninsula ran 3 parts of a length behind Miss Leah, but comes in here a kilo better off. I think that's enough to turn the tables. Salinia Peninsula is obviously a sister to Barbaresco, so 1,400 meters probably in a sweet spot, and she might end up being the horse to beat. No one-way traffic though. Number 1 Vulcanite, devastating from the front since they changed tactics. She's been out the top draw, big step up in class, but she could be up to it. She's got a winning chance. Number 2 Baquena, always held in high regard. Let's see if she's able to step up to this distance and be effective. That's the big thing. But she definitely got it between the ears and got the ability to do so. 3 Miss Leah can't be far away from Salinia Peninsula, so she's an automatic inclusion. And then number 7 Coco Melon, now ridden by Muzieni for Sean Tarry. Go watch her last run very closely in the Betway Fillies Mile. From a deep draw, she took her medicine. She made up a lot of ground behind Wilder Vallis. She's a little sneaker in the pack, number 7 Coco Melon. Don't leave her out of the play.
Right, let's move along to race number 8, and as we move along to race number 8, this is the Grade 3 Betway Got the Green Light Stakes over 1,400 meters. And for those out there, need no introduction to Got the Green Light. We know exactly what he achieved in his career and how capable he was. And looking at this event, we've got some up-and-coming horses here, Alistair. And looking at number 1, let's start off with number 1, Cosmic Speed, who's rated a 116 from the Sean Terry stable. Last time out, he beat Kimrick. The time before behind VJ's Angel, just didn't seem to shape. And then he beat Proceed very impressively 3 runs back. So he's obviously got quite a reputation. And in this horse, Greaterix, the grey-year-old son of Vercingetorix from the Mike de Kock stable. He looks to be something very, very decent. The penultimate win was over 1,600 meters. And then last time, perhaps just went a little bit hard, and dropping back to the 14, I think is going to suit dead right on this occasion.
Yeah, that's a school of thought, Sheldon, and I do share that as well. Might have just gone a step too quickly, but when you look at hindsight, I was all over Greaterix. I made him the absolute play of the day on Summer Cup Day, and when you look back, he couldn't live with Quid Pro Quo, so absolutely no excuses for not winning, but perhaps excuses for not finishing at least next to number 2 Fire Attack. Muzi's on board for Mike de Kock, the son of Vercingetorix, is obviously well out of the top draw. We know that. He's got to prove himself now that he is group quality, but I have no doubt that he is. And I think with Muzi back on board, there's going to be every opportunity that you'll see a huge run for number 3 Greaterix. He's a horse that I'm actually going to lead with in this Grade 3 Got the Green Light Stakes, sponsored by Betway. And I know that this race sort of emerged on the radar after his disappointing run in the Betway Dingons, and he can be devastating from the front. And the track's not likely to be running all that fast, with it obviously likely to be quite soft on the day. But I think he's got the ability, and I think that he can take quite a power of beating. But going to number 1, Cosmic Speed, he's the backup. The 1 and 3, the only numbers I've got in jackpot. Number 1 in the final league. He's a flashy son of Quirari. The day when I really took notice was at Hollywoodbets Scottsville. When I saw him in the parade ring, I thought, this is a very, very nice son of Quirari. And if the Grade 1's not coming too soon, he'll be a big player. But he ran his socks off, and a few more strides, he might have actually got the better of Proceed. He set the record straight on Hollywoodbets Durbanville July Day when beating Proceed, beating a hot field and beating them with content. Don't know what happened on Gold Cup Day. A little bit disappointing, a little bit under par, but we know he's better than that. And came back with a rip-roaring return. We're meeting Simric in a graduation race. To be fair, he could never miss there. But the point is he blew off the cobwebs and won a very good race. Hope the run doesn't come a little bit too soon, suffering from post-race distress. But, of course, Greaterix also came back with post-race distress after the Betway Dingon. So both of them sort of coming back from what may have been a harder run than desired. The only 2 horses that are 1 Fire Attack from the draw is going to have a hard ask. Wilded War's a very good horse, but at the numbers, he can't beat Greaterix. He'll run better than what he did in the Dingons, but he can't beat Greaterix on the numbers. Musical Score, Schwarzenegger, they're very, very nice horses, but I'm going to go with the reputation and the group evidence that's in front of me that numbers 1 and 3 will fight it out.
The 9th and final event due off at 1700 hours, so 5 o'clock, all things being equal. The starters should say go. And number 5, Covert Operator, is an early casualty. So the early time we're recording on Saturday morning, you can take out Covert Operator. Now, Alistair, race number 9, I'm hoping that you've been able to find the winning code and been able to crack it. Let's start with the horse like number 3, Longsword. 61 kilograms on his back. Gavin Lorena for the Sean Terry outfit. He's currently trading at 4-1. Number 8, Virgin River is your 3-1 favourite. And number 6, Big Boy Bruce for the Fani Bronkhorst Inform Stable, 7-2. I'm in the camper number 3, Longsword. Where would you hinge your bets in race number 9, Alistair?
I can have Longsword. I'll give him a chance. The blinkers come off. They didn't necessarily work last time behind John Wick. Beautiful son of William Longsword coming up fresh. Is a player. It's hard to write off any horse in this race. I can motivate a winning chance for all of them. But Sheldon, I'm going to have an each-way bet in the finale on number 10, Smith and Wesson. I think that this is a live chance. I'm just going to call up the market about this Paul Matchett trained runner in the finale with Muzieni on board. He's a 16-1 hope of Smith and Wesson. This is why. Muzi back on board, the son of the United States. His rating has dropped a little bit further. From a once 93, he's down to a 76. So this is the lowest rating he's had since he was a maiden. He's run with better opposition, not much better, but better opposition, and he's drawn towards the outside. If this meeting happens at Turffontein, especially on a sticky track, that's where you want to be. Not going to get carried away with a huge win bet on the son of the United States, but definite each-way claims. Have a big place bet on number 10, Smith and Wesson. I think that he'll be in the top 3. But for him, Longsword figures into all calculations. COVID operator definitely has a chance. Big Boy Bruce has definitely hit the right wave all of a sudden after being so difficult at the stalls early on. Milan de Toys worked miracles with the son of Rabar, and now he doesn't even need Milan. The Navy Larks run was stronger, maybe an outside place chance. Virgin River very consistent. Demonesque pops up on the radar. All those horses probably need to be considered for the pick 6. But if you want to make money on the last, if you're doing well, have a little play on number 10, Smith and Wesson. If you're doing badly, that could be the get-out stakes.
Well, there you've heard it, straight from the horse's mouth, as we say. Alistair Cohen, 16-1 about Smith and Wesson. And just having a look at this individual, he's never too far off the action. 4.5 lengths, 4.5 lengths, 5 lengths. And if you go back, third to Tchaikovsky. So definitely a horse at 16-1 that Alistair could be on the mark. So whether you're in front or whether you're behind, you can take a small little bit of a chance and a nice place bet on Smith and Wesson. Now, Alistair, your suggested bet for the day is Jackpot 1. So for your fans out there who follow you meeting in and meeting out, if you wouldn't mind going through those numbers for us, please.
And the form's been good, by the way, so touch wood, it continues. Jackpot 1 gets underway at 14.37, don't miss the boat. 1 and 4, Zeus and Red Maple, not expecting the jackpot to be paying rockets after the first leg. In fact, we're just looking to make ground in the third leg. So 1 and 4, by 1, 2, 8 and 9, Texas Red, Pomodoros, Jet, Storm, Brasco and Truth. By 1, 2, 3, 4 and 7, Vulcanite, Baquena, Miss Leah, Salinio Peninsula, and Coco Melon. And 1 and 3 at the back, Cosmic Speed and Great Tricks. Not breaking the bank, but the key race is definitely the third league, where I'm going to be hoping Salinio Peninsula. Not that she's going to knock out millions of tickets, but knocks out quite a few.
Well, thank you very much, Alistair. As is the norm, you take your time, you spend a lot of time studying, going through the form lines, finding out what you can. So really appreciate the hard work you do for us. And now it all comes down to the horses doing it on the track.
Yep, absolutely love it. Keeps my eye on the ball and everything else, Sheldon. So always a pleasure. Have a wonderful week ahead, and we'll chat again soon.
Super. Thanks very much to Alistair Cohen going through the Gauteng meeting. And as you've heard, just keep a close eye on the weather patterns. As the weatherman has said, there is some rain on the way, so that'll be in the taking. Once the final declarations are out, then you'll be able to see exactly where you stand. But as you, the punter, best of luck, and may your horses run faster than the rest.